This week on The Aviators, to commemorate an impressive 5th season of the series, we're flying you back first class for a look at some of our finest moments. And although it may seem like an airtight production with a group of professionals, get ready for the unexpected as we pull back the curtain and reveal some of the goofs and gags that have slipped through the cracks. Welcome to Season 5. Over the course of the first 4 seasons of The Aviators, we've journeyed far and wide to bring our viewers a front row seat to the people, the places, the technology, and of course, the aircraft that make up the past, present, and future of aviation. To mark the commencement of this, our 5th season, we thought it would be a perfect opportunity to take a look back at some of our very favorite moments in the show's history, as well as to give viewers a glimpse behind the scenes at a few of the highlights that didn't make it onto the show the first time around. We hope you'll enjoy it as much as we did putting it all together. So sit back and join us as we present the best of The Aviators. The B-29 Super Fortress, the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, the Goodyear Blimp, the AH-1 Huey. All very different types of aircraft with very different missions, and we've covered them all. As we look back upon our first 4 seasons, it's not at all surprising to note that we've devoted a considerable amount of time to exploring the legacies of a wide variety of aircraft spanning a significant portion of aviation's history. In a few special cases, our hosts were given the chance to step into the cockpit and take control of some truly incredible aircraft themselves. Among these moments, one of our personal favorites came during our 3rd season, when Curtis was given the opportunity to go through the very same fighter training as pilots recruited during the Second World War, starting with the prolific T-6 Texan, en route to flying the legendary P-51 Mustang. For Curtis, an avid World War II enthusiast, the opportunity to take to the skies in the most recognized fighter of the era was quite literally a dream come true.
You have the aircraft, I have control. Holy crow, I got control of the P-51 Mustang. Who would have thought it? I can tell you don't like the Mustang, so you want to go back home already? You're going to ruin me for everything else. You want to buy a 195? 400 down? Hey, look at that. Look how much harder I have to pull for the button. Yeah, look at the turn rate difference of the airplane. So flaps are a really, really good tool. That is amazing. Stabilize. Now fly the tail to the ground. Tail to the ground. Good. All right.
Mustang 1, welcome back to your left turn when able. Contact ground.
I'm scared to breathe.
Every day.
And you get to do that every day, huh?
Every day.
Over the course of the past 3 seasons, I personally had the opportunity to take our viewers through the steps that would be involved in purchasing a plane of your own, making it your own, and modifying it. And while the process of making my new-to-me Cessna P210 my own was certainly a highlight, seeing the result of a series of modifications it underwent in Season 3 may very well take the prize for my personal favorite moment to date. After discussing my options with the team at Mayday Avionics in Grand Rapids, Michigan, we decided on switching out the 210's vintage analog instrument panel for a beautiful modern trio of glass panels that would not only change the flight instruments, but also the communication and navigation radios, the transponder, and even the autopilot. 8 weeks later, I returned to Mayday where the finished product was waiting, and boy, was it worth it.
So I'm excited and nervous at the same time, so I'm not sure. Here we go. Oh my God. That is gorgeous. That is unreal.
With a multitude of static display aircraft, a myriad of vendors, and spectacular live entertainment of all shapes and sizes, there's no doubt that air shows are among the most popular forms of aerial entertainment in the world. One of the driving forces behind their ability to attract millions of fans across the globe each year are the thrilling performances executed by iconic pilots, dancing across the sky in one-of-a-kind aircraft that leave spectators awestruck in their wake. Over the years, we've given viewers the opportunity to marvel at the best of the best in the airshow arena, from the aerobatics of Sean Tucker, Patty Wagstaff, Julie Clark, Mike Wiskus, and John Moore, to the delightfully unconventional performances of pilot Gene Soucy and wingwalker Teresa Stokes, Justin Lewis and his FLS microjet, and Manfred Radius and his aerobatic glider show, to the mechanics at work behind the scenes with Air Boss Wayne Boggs and all-star announcer Rob Ryder, both of whom can be seen in the brand new TV series Air Boss. To the jaw-dropping precision of formation aerobatic teams like Team Aerostars, the Geico Skytypers, and the Black Diamond Jet Team. It was in this very arena that Raylene was given a truly one-of-a-kind experience when she had the opportunity to ride back seat with the Aeroshell aerobatic team for one of their remarkable airshow performances. Well, each and every flight that we've had the opportunity to take in on the show has made for an incredible experience. Perhaps the biggest pinch me I'm dreaming moment yet came when our executive producer Lisa Charney was given a chance to spend the day as a member of the United States Air Force's Air Demonstration Squadron, the Thunderbirds.
All right.
Thank you.
After getting outfitted for her flight, preparing for the G-forces she would be experiencing, and meeting with her pilot, Thunderbird 8, Captain Michael Fisher, it was time for Lisa to step inside the F-16 for the experience of a lifetime.
Thunderbird 8, winds at 160 at 9. When you're ready, you are cleared for takeoff. Have fun. There's one cloud right at show center.
Here we go. Ready?
Ready.
400. Nose coming up. We'll go right past this cloud here.
Like driving. And if you get into trouble in the air, you can't pull over to the side of the road. I'm gonna try that again.
Never let the experience or comfort level of other pilots force you to fly against your better judgment. There's nothing wrong with waiting for higher ceilings or more.
If you're prone to motion sickness, never,
Weight and balance can be critical, especially in small aircraft. While it may be tempting to take off with full tanks and bring those golf clubs, you should resist the temptation to take off when you're too heavy.
Sounds like these hosts could use a few tips themselves.
Weight and balance can be critical, especially in light aircraft. It may be tempting to want to go with full tanks and bring those golf clubs, but you should...
The number one concern of any pilot is to make sure that he's always 100% in control of his airplane. No matter, even if you're not in... let's try that again. Sorry.
Late in Season 3, we were granted a backstage pass of an altogether different kind when we were given the chance to document Motley Crue frontman Vince Neil's journey toward acquiring his pilot's license in Las Vegas. Beyond the obvious cool factor of having a front row seat while the lead singer for one of the biggest hard rock bands on the planet learned how to fly, it was also pretty awesome to be able to sit alongside a brand new pilot as he took to the sky and experienced a number of once-in-a-lifetime firsts right before our eyes.
We're clear for takeoff.
Okay.
A little bit of back pressure and it's going to lift off nicely for you. There you go. You can see the center line's a little bit more to the right.
Yeah.
Need a little bit more aileron to the right.
That didn't seem like a very good takeoff.
Just step on the foot when you do that. There you go. One right running. Alright, now rip off the band-aid. Come all the way out till you feel that bucket. Oh, yeah. Nicely done. Gotta close the throttle.
Right now?
Yep. And
All the
put
way?
in all the way. And put in one option flat. That's pretty good.
I landed, didn't I?
You did.
That was really cool. Yeah!
Over the years, we've clearly spent a great deal of time in and around physical aircraft. But those aren't the only flights we've had the opportunity to take our viewers on. In our first season, we took to an Embraer 190 flight simulator for a variety of training scenarios, beginning with airline captain Jeff Lewis showing us how to land an airliner. Then, making things a bit more interesting, I took over the controls to find out if a private pilot could land the airliner. And finally, we put Aviators cameraman Devin Lund into the captain's chair to see if a non-pilot could land the aircraft.
I'm alive. Oh my God.
The simulator segments were so much fun for us and such a hit with our fans that we decided to raise the stakes the following season when we put a 12-year-old boy named Remy behind the controls of a Boeing 737 simulator and posed the question, can a kid land an airliner? Well, here's what happened.
And you're just gonna line it right up. So you see the whitest strip there?
Yeah.
That's the runway there. So it's basically that middle one that you see.
Yes, actually. That one, the third one.
Exactly. So we're gonna line up with the runway there, just like that. Almost on the ground. We're at 200 feet now. And we're gonna touch down here. Almost there. There you go, you're on the ground. A steer. And you made it. You made it on your first try.
Wow.
The following episode, I decided that if a kid could land an airliner, it was time for me to up the stakes even further and took on the challenge of landing an airliner that was down an engine. I mean, how difficult could it be? Well, let's see how I fared.
Man, looks like if I keep this up, I'm gonna be short of the runway.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of power. But you see now I gave you a little bit of power, the airplane started giving you a little bit of a turn.
Yeah, I see it's pushing me the other way.
But you are a little bit low, so we're gonna have to help you out there.
Oh yeah, very low to the ground.
And you see,
And I think I've lost my runway.
you have.
Oh.
And
Uh-oh.
there's the ground.
Well, we're on the ground. That's good.
In addition to the in-flight simulators that we've undertaken, we've also had the opportunity to experience a few other emergency training simulations in rather specialized environments. I tried my hand at air traffic control at the University of North Dakota.
Taking off right now?
Southwest 326.
And
Or
who's
sorry,
coming?
correction, 324. Southwest 326 is coming in.
That's not
All right.
confusing.
And I even tried to fly a helicopter for the first time. Well, at least a simulated one.
Did I dent the landing gear? Oh, yeah.
Another unique simulation occurred when Sarah was given the chance to participate in aviation egress training, which simulates what a passenger or pilot would experience if they were trapped in a submerged airplane. This included being strapped into a simulated cockpit, being fully submerged and overturned in the water, and having to escape from the window of what would be an upside-down float plane.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh, guys, we're in trouble. This is good.
Another simulation segment that proved to be especially memorable took place when Curtis paid a visit to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University's Oxygen Deprivation Lab, where the students get to experience the effects of hypoxia at a simulated altitude of nearly 30,000 feet. When the time came for Curtis to remove his oxygen mask and experience hypoxia for himself, watching how well he thinks he's keeping it together could fill a blooper reel all on its own.
So once again, about 26,000 feet, certainly you can get hypoxic.
You may recognize the symptom of hypoxia in one of your crewmates or another person before you really recognize it in yourself, and that's probably a good idea at that point to don your oxygen mask and then start talking about it. +12 + 7 is 21.
So I'm going to have you take your mask, just hold it to your face.
All of these was always blue. One of them is purple, and one of them is actually green.
Now, this is designed for a 2-year-old.
I'm not that smart.
Every once in a while, even our behind-the-scenes crew get to participate in the fun. At the end of Season 3, Lisa and Devin paid a visit to Sky Combat Ace in Las Vegas, where they got to experience aerobatics and basic combat maneuvers in a simulated dogfight competition. The competition was fierce and littered with trash talk from both sides, but it was ultimately cut short when Devin, feeling the physical effects of the aerobatics, threw in the towel, much to Lisa's delight. What we didn't show you the first time was what happened when they got back to the hangar. And let me warn you, it wasn't a pretty sight.
My hands are numb. My face is numb. Pretty awesome experience. One that I will never forget. Good job. Are you okay?
I'm great. I'm great. I had no issues whatsoever. I was ready to go and keep going again. The only reason why we stopped is because you needed to go back home.
But while Lisa put on a tough front for the cameras, as soon as she thought they were turned off, let's just say her true colors were revealed. Watching the before and after expressions on Lisa and Devin's faces is bringing back some unpleasant memories from my own last season. My visit to York Soaring for my first ever experience in a sailplane was pleasant enough. In fact, once I got my head around the idea that I was getting into an aircraft without any engine to speak of, being towed into the sky and eventually released at an altitude of 3,000 feet for my flight, the experience itself was actually very cool. What I didn't know was that once my flight was complete, I was about to be taken right back up for what would not only be my first aerobatic glider experience, but my first aerobatic experience, period.
Now let's go that, and they're rolling. They're going all the way around. Yeah, yeah, invert it. And we're almost finished with the roll. And we're finished with the roll. How was it? Huh?
That was good.
I love it. I love it.
We've managed to cover a lot of ground in the Aviators' history so far, but this really wouldn't be much of a best of show without a good old-fashioned blooper reel, now would it? On our show, our hosts appear to be the definition of professionalism. Fortunately for us, that's certainly not always the case.
Amphibious aircraft have wheels that will retract.
Oh, you were there!
With winter, snow is going to be inevitable. We've all seen people
Flood their lines.
Aircraft that don't fit in the previous two categories.
Whenever you're ready.
With the geese?
Sometimes we have to do things over and over and, well, you get the point.
When most of us hear reference to we're here in Tucson, Arizona at the 309th Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Group. That means this one will be better. We're here in Tucson, Arizona at the 309th Aircraft Maintenance and Regeneration Group. I can't say that.
Here we are at the landing gear. I shouldn't keep saying here we are at, you know. This is the landing gear. The landing gear on the Boeing 787 is much...
George's dream of flying began like most other pilots. Nope.
It's really not fun. It's a sad situation, but we'll make it better.
Things aren't so easy behind the cameras either, especially when our targets rarely stop moving and we aren't ever quite sure when or where they'll appear. But every once in a while, our instincts take over and we're right on the money. Whatever the situation, we just can't help but to get caught up in the fun of making this show and letting our inner performers loose, for better and for worse.
Kill it! Kill it! Oh, I hope there was nobody in there.
I had one of those crawl on me once.
Yeah, it's a rabid possum.
You look great too, Devin. But don't tell anybody I said that.
We'll leave it at that then.
You can shoot the tail. That's not good. This is incredible.
You ever watch Zoom? Remember Zoom? Zoom, Z-O-O-M, box 350, Boston, Mass. 02134. Oh, I got it. And I got it.
Did you get that on camera?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Thank heavens you're okay.
If there's one thing that most everyone in the aviation community seems to have in common, it's a level of enthusiasm, curiosity, and dedication to flight that truly feels boundless. Luckily for us, we've managed to find a group of these individuals embedded with these very same characteristics to put in front of our cameras and bring our viewers into once-in-a-lifetime experiences for the past 4 seasons. With this in mind, we wanted to take the opportunity to go back to the very beginning of the Aviators, to let our hosts tell us what drew them toward aviation in the first place. And although each story is unique, we can't help but feel that the passion behind them represents the community as a whole. We think you'll agree.
The reason I got into flying from the beginning was because my dad's actually an Air Canada pilot. So he introduced me to it. I found a love and a passion for it and have never looked back since.
I first got interested in aviation at an air show with my grandfather when I was about 6 years old. We watched the snowbirds fly. And ever since that time, I decided it was something I wanted to get into.
Don't do like too many pilots and start late in your life. Get started when you have that interest, if you have the ability, and you'll just love it.
We sincerely hope that you've enjoyed the best of the Aviators. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for Season 5. We'll see you in the skies. Seasons 1 through 5 are now available on DVD and Blu-ray. For more information on today's segments, visit www.theaviators.tv. From Oshkosh, Wisconsin's Whitman Regional Airport, we'll see you next time on The Aviators.